YouTube. It is July 20th. I'm doing my video finally. I know I said I'm going to start keeping up with them, but apparently I kind of been like all over the place. I plan on it being a little more frequent because, I mean, there's just so much going on too that, I don't know, it's good to like talk about and kind of get the emotions out there and kind of get other people's views on it. I know I get like a halo thing going on over my head, but right now I'm currently chilling out, as horrible as that angle was, with my yogi tea. It is honey lavender stress relief. They have like all these really cool tips. The reason why I love yogi tea is, one, they always have like ideas for like mental clarity. They give you the story how yogi tea even began, why the herbs were chosen for whatnot. They give you like the whole principles on the yogi lifestyle, and they even decorate the box pretty fucking cool. If you're into mandalas, you can probably sit there and like break a box apart and color them. Awesome thing too is they always have a positive quote. I usually use 2 bags in my 1 cup. Just makes things easier, and I use obviously my favorite, Weeby raw honey. I've been doing that. My quote for tonight for my stress relief is, lift people up to their potential and higher self. And the other one is, the beauty of the soul is constant, continuous, and endless, which is very true, folks. I know things have been kind of crazy for the last week. I was going to try to go to the farmer's market today. Unfortunately, like, my house had a bout of bad luck for the last week. My son came here a week ago. He was here from like Thursday to like Sunday. He was an emotional wreck, very aggressive, very agitated, a lot of anger, which bothers me, but I know he's not handling his dad's marriage very well. I shouldn't say marriage, but his dad's getting married this Saturday on the 22nd. So, and he's only been with his girlfriend for like almost 4 months now or whatnot, and he's not taking it really well. In fact, he's been like an absolute freaking mess. I just noticed that my phone cord was touching water. But, yeah, and then I got my daughter, my middle daughter, from Sunday till today, and I still have my son with me too. But, like, the first night my daughter was here, like, she woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning going into Monday morning screaming bloody murder because her stomach was in pain and her head was hurting. And I checked her temperature. She was about 102, 103, which right there bothered me because I'm like, great, now she's sick. Like, what the hell am I going to do? What does she have? Like, oh, and I don't bother Googling or WebMDing or trying to, like, do any of that shit because it's only going to drive me crazy because you go to put in, like, oh, stomach cramps and this and that, and they're like, oh, well, your daughter's intestines are going to fall out of her ass in the morning. Great. It's like, nah, no thank you. But she didn't want to go to the emergency room, so we ended up going to urgent care the following day with all 3 kids. It was a bit hectic, so I was like, great, like, this is a nightmare. Because the other thing going through my head is my youngest is going to get sick. Like, I'm trying so hard to stay positive. I'm sanitizing, washing hands, everything. And, sorry. But, it was just crazy. Like, they were in and out of the bathroom, like, oh my god. And then, like, my youngest ends up having an accident, like, about 2.5, 3 hours in. I mean, she was going to the bathroom normal, but then, like, all of a sudden she had the runs and exploded through her clothes, so it was a nightmare. And, I mean, she is potty trained. She's been potty trained for, like, almost 2 weeks now, so, I mean, she's been doing awesome, even overnight, nap time, everything. But it was just sad because she was so embarrassed. And then I had to put her in a diaper from the hospital because I didn't have a change of clothes because I didn't think about, like, her doing that in the hospital. So, and she's been the running fever since. And then we found out that Mika has strep. We don't know what Katana has. I mean, it's just her normal bout of fever. It's like same temps, same rash that came across her face prior. So, I mean, that was rough. And then Coda wakes up today, or my son wakes up today, and he wasn't feeling too hot. He had stomach pains, and he felt nauseous, kept telling me he was going to throw up. He sat in the bathroom for a good, like, 45 minutes, like, dry heaving. And, like, I felt horrible because I'm sitting there thinking, like, why do all my babies have to be sick when it's, like, almost 100 degrees outside? This is fucking insane. But their dad came and picked the older two up. I sent Mika home with her meds and shit. But it was just so sad. Just so sad seeing them like this. But then, like, there was just so much that was going through my head, too. Because, like, my son went and talked to his dad, and my son's got, like I said, has a lot of anger right now. There's a lot of changes going on in his life. He's not too happy having a new stepmom. He's not too happy with, like, the changes going on in our day-to-day life. He was pretty upset for the week that he was here that he didn't get to see my youngest father. And I did everything I could to kind of sort of touch base and explain to him what was going on. Because, I mean, I've been dealing with the stress of my youngest not talking to him as well. No good nights, no phone calls, no checking to see if she's okay, nothing. So, I mean, it's really stressful on me because, like, honestly, men and women, like, women that go through this, like, I know some can relate. When you have a baby with somebody, like, you don't have a baby because you're expecting to be a single parent. You didn't have a baby and make it on your own. You didn't have a baby because you planned it all out going, yeah, you know what, I'm going to have this baby and do this all by myself. You know, you both committed the sin. You both had that child. You both should be raising that child equally. And I'm sorry, guys, like, I don't care what Mother Nature tells you. My fathers, my grandfathers, they were all involved with their kids. And it's really hard watching men now become these nasty, lazy people. And I mean, it's not just men, it's women too. And I mean, and there's even both. I mean, you have grandparents taking over their grandkids too because the parents don't even want to be parents anymore. And it's just sad. I mean, like, I get stressed out to the point where, like, I'm like, hey, you know, I need a day to myself, guy. Like, I just want to go and walk around the park by myself with nobody around. It's not that I'm going to go out and try to find, like, the man of my life or anything. I just need some alone time. I need to think. I need to process paperwork. I need to do shit, run to appointments, you know, get my head straight. Because if I'm not at my full 100%, I'm not there for my daughter at full 100% or my son or, you know, whoever. So, like, knowing I do this pretty much on my own is hard. I mean, like, the hospitals, doctor's appointments. I've been doing this since she was born. Bath times, feedings. And it's like, sometimes I need a break. Like, I mean, her dad was doing okay for a little while recently. Because, like, the first, like, almost 2 years, I mean, honestly, he didn't really do shit. And, I mean, I'm pretty sure if he was really sit down and think about it, he didn't do shit. There was no birthday gifts. There was no Christmas gifts. It was mom supplying the whole thing for her. Mom supplying what was needed. I mean, helping me with, like, almost $700 in 2 years is very minute compared to what I've been paying for everyday bills, my cars, the food, this and that. And I don't care if I'm getting help or not. It's just the factor that you're the dad. This is your job. You had a baby. Now, learn how to be a dad. You want the title, be the father. Don't act like an idiot. Don't be stupid. Stop being selfish and finding these party girls because it's less of a responsibility than waking up every day next to the same woman you decided to put a child in and actually living up to the expectations of being a father. Or trying to get with the other baby mama because the kid's older and it's less of a responsibility because she's practically independent because she's almost a teenager. I mean, like, sorry, you should have thought about that before knocking me up. But, as of my older two, I mean, like, me and their dad were at that mutual point where we knew, like, we weren't going to last. It wasn't going to happen. And, like, I ended things, and I was serious about it. And we were able to accept the fact that we were never going to be. But we talked about it. I mean, it wasn't easy for the first, like, couple of months, but we talked about it, and we made it through it, and we understood, like, we don't see eye to eye, and he's nowhere near a perfect man. And, like, I'm not saying I'm a saint either, but I never did the shit that they did to me. And I never would. I wouldn't put that on anybody because I know what it feels like to be in a relationship and suffer and feel alone and deal with shit by yourself. Or those days that you really need them, all of a sudden they call the relationship off because it's too much. You're too annoying, or this is too obsessive, or you're this or that. It's like, I'm sorry that I love you and I care about you to a deep emotion that even society to this day doesn't seem to fucking understand. because nobody cares about each other. They're more worried about their cell phones, how they look in a social media account and whatnot, rather than focusing on their spouse, and or they're worried about video games and what their scores are going to be online, who they're competing against. When in all reality, your arms should be around your woman or your man. You guys should be chilling and cooking together and laughing in the kitchen and cuddling up on that couch. And when the baby's asleep, slip a little quickie here and there. And do what you gotta do. But, like, don't put expectations on each other. I mean, when a woman or a man is having an issue in your relationship, vocalize that shit, talk about it, work through, and make those fucking changes if you really care about them. Don't sit there and be like, you're just being annoying because I don't like what you're saying to me. I'm not going to change the way I am. Real relationships, you do change. You change every day because you're growing. You're learning boundaries. You're learning how to be somebody's forever, ever after. I mean, you're learning to be a good parent. We didn't wake up one day and you're a perfect parent all of a sudden. Even with me, I mean, I have to learn every day. I have to learn constantly. Every day is a new challenge. It's more knowledge to me. And like, ooh, you keep zoning into my face. But like, you gotta accept life. You gotta love life. You gotta be there. And, when these people are jumping into relationships and being stupid, going in and out of them because they're not happy or things aren't going their way. Well, I'm sorry, people, but things aren't always going to go your way. Things don't always go my way, and you don't see me bouncing guy to guy and girl to girl or whatever the case is. I make sure I work through my problems. If the person I really care about, if we can work through shit, let's work through shit. But don't run. Don't hide. Don't be dumb. But it's like, I'm so sick of seeing single parents, and it hurts seeing society like this, because why doesn't anybody want to bring the old days back? Where people really loved each other, and people were really there, and like, it did take a village to raise a child, and families were families, and nobody was disowning each other, no one was pushing each other away, no one fucking hated each other, and they weren't throwing love around like it was a fucking joke. And same with loyalty, same with respect. I mean, nobody was walking around fucking with their heads blown up being selfish because they have 15 quotes on their fucking Facebook, or they have Instagram photos with 15 or 16 different filters on it. I'm sorry, folks, but learn to love one another. Because relationships aren't perfect, and unless you know how to actually handle a real relationship, don't jump into one unless you know what you're doing. Alright? Much love. Real talk. But yeah, I'll worry about the weight loss and shit coming up soon. So, night. Okay, if it will want to stop recording, apparently it loves my face. No, really, that's weird. My phone's being dumb.